Welcome back. This is Pairs Well Knitting. I'm Jennifer and this is a knitting podcast all about knitting, yardy adventures and travel. Thank you very much for joining me today. In today's episode is a top 5 favorite things episode. If you've been here, I've started a mini series over the holidays that go over my top 5 very favorite things. They may be knitty, they may not be. Let's get comfy and cozy. Today's top 5 episode is all about YouTube channels that I have so enjoyed this year, but not knitting ones. So let's get in with what I'm wearing. This sweater, I do not know the designer, but I really adore. I purchased this at the event that was had at the Knitting Loft a couple weeks ago for their Give and Gather, or Sadie's Give and Gather event, where items were donated by our lovely knitting community to the Knitting Loft. They invited people to come in to make purchases. All of the proceeds were then donated to the Toronto Humane Society, which is so gorgeous, which is why I don't know who the designer is on the sweater, but she is a stunner. Really interesting construction, and I'll kind of like walk you around. It is a saddle shoulder construction, if you can see a little bit, in this really, I feel, classic neutral. We have a 1x1 ribbing on the neck with some small short rows, nothing major, and interesting little bits here of, it's almost like a slip stitch. I don't know if you can see from the inside. There's also some other really interesting features that are going on with the sweater. They have a slip stitch that's happening on the inside of the sleeve to almost give a seam look, but it's like fake seam. I love the sleeve and how they did the 1x1 ribbing, but did this, I'm not sure if it's one of those, is it called a Bavarian braid almost? I don't know, but they have it here at the cuff, which I so enjoy, and it's at the bottom ribbed hem as well. They did a split hem. I mean, this is just, I feel, such a beautiful design. And again, we've got like a slip stitchy bit. You see, there we are on the inside of the fabric again to give it kind of a faux seam. I've worn it this way because I was told from other knitters at the Knitting Loft that this was probably the proper way to wear it. I was intrigued to wear it on the inside out with the reverse stockinette so that you could see those slip stitches. I mean, I'll see. I think I'll go back and forth between wearing it on one side versus the other side for fun. But she's a really pretty sweater. I don't know who knit it, but they did a beautiful job, and I'm thrilled that I was able to get this into my closet to go along with my many other sweaters that I don't need but love to wear and bring me great joy. But I'm really surprised they got rid of it. It's a beautiful sweater. So there we are. If this design looks anything like what you have seen in the past of anyone, let me know. If you can help me figure out the mystery behind this sweater design, that would be amazing, because I would love to knit this sweater up. I would do it myself and cast on. I did think at first it was Andrea Mari's, I think it was a weekender, because I remember the slip stitches on the back as well. There's like a center seam here, same thing. It's not, it's a very different construction. So let me know. And yeah, it would be amazing to find out. We shall see. We're now gonna get into my top 5 favorite non-knitting YouTube channels. These channels have brought me great joy over the year as I've been knitting, because I'm never not sitting and knitting. And of course, I love such a variety of knitting podcasts, which will be coming to you, my top 5 series in the future. But this is a non-knitting theme for this selection. I really feel like, you know, obviously other things outside of knitting bring me great joy, and maybe they will bring you joy as well. So we're sharing and caring here, and maybe some will resonate with you. I have 2 sewing channels that I really enjoy, and even if you're not a sewer, I think one of these could be super fun to watch. My first is the Fold Line. This is a online pattern shop from the UK. The host is Kate, and she's always so great. She's very routine with the way that she presents her episodes. I really look forward to her videos. She has them come out every Sunday morning for me, where I'm located in the world, and I really look forward to watching her videos. She does a variety of things. Usually it's a curation of new patterns that have been released by the sewing community, or I should say sewing designers, which are really fun to see kind of what's coming out. I do sew, but I am not an active sewer. I very much more prefer and find great joy in wearing my sewn items than actual the process of sewing. So I very much enjoy this kind of video that allows me to kind of get the goodness from sewing without me actually having to, you know, turn the condo upside down to sew. I really enjoy the way that she shares about her pattern roundup and goes into some detail, but not too much, about the design and options that they have of the different views of the patterns. She also does these really interesting like seasonal roundups where she'll go live into the high street. She'll record what she's seeing as themes for the season that are trending, and then what she'll do, which I adore, is she'll pair that idea of the trends for that season with designs that are already existing in sewing patterns, so you can sew the trends, which I think is so cool. So that's Kate from the Fold line. Check it out, she's great, and yeah, really entertaining. I think even if you're not a sewer, it could be super your thing because of the trends part and the element of design part for the body and clothing. We'll keep on the theme with the sewing. This is my last sewing video for my top 5 favorite non-knitting channels. Is from Carly B. She's a dynamo of a human. She comes to us from Australia and is a sewist herself. She is just full of energy and optimism. She definitely brings fun into sewing. Her elements, I'll say, of design and her aesthetic is very whimsical, lots of color and pattern, paneling, ruffles, that is her thing, and she freestyles a lot. She does also sew patterns that exist already, but she really enjoys and shows full videos of her showing garments and pieces that she creates from her imagination. So it's her vision coming to life, which is so cool. Often the pieces that she puts together are garments, dresses, blouses that come from her mind and get sewn into her hands, but take so many steps that I really appreciate the design process and her kind of just going for it attitude. She is the happiest person as she shares. It's definitely a passion of hers. I love it. At current, she is sewing her wedding dress. That's been really cool to follow. And I love watching her. I find that, you know, depending on the day that I may have had, maybe it wasn't the best on the subway, for example, or whatever, watching one of her videos from Carly B just brightens me right back up, and she's a joy to watch. I would also say she'd be amazing to watch as even a sewer or a non-sewer, because she is fun to watch. So go check her out from Carly B. My next YouTube channel that I really enjoy is still clothing related, but these are things that exist already. So this is a channel by Alysa Bel Tempo. That's the name of her channel. That is the name of her. She's a fellow Canadian who is living in Montreal, I believe. And her whole concept of her channel is to shop your closet. This is clothing that already exists in our closet, where she is encouraging you to use the items and wear the items in your closet that you already own and have, but maybe style in different ways. You're pairing it with different things that you wouldn't have maybe before, and allowing yourself to perhaps style items in a more trendy way, even with color, design, aesthetic, that kind of thing. I think it's a genius idea. I really enjoy having this as inspiration for outfits that I enjoy putting together. I think that whole concept of not having to go out and buy a new clothing item, but to get a totally different look, is key for myself, because I don't like the idea of extra consumption or, you know, ready-made clothing items. I like making my own. And I think that's allowing myself as well over the years to style my knits in different ways, not only putting them with jeans, but having a variety of options as I grow my garments and my knitwear in my closet. Really enjoy her videos. She doesn't only talk about shopping her closet, but she also goes into details about smart shopping. So if you are in the camp of looking for a new piece of clothing, how are you going to make that purchase and how is it going to fit into your closet? So just being really conscious and thoughtful about your purchases. Love that. That's Alysa Bel Tempo. Hope you enjoy that one too. My next up channel that I really have enjoyed is a workout channel. It is about kettlebells. It's called Precision Kettlebells. This is a channel with Mike, who is the host and I believe owner of Precision Kettlebells. It's a gym somewhere in the States. And I really enjoy his videos. They're of course all free because they're on YouTube, and it is kettlebell centric only. So what I do when I'm home and not going to the gym, I'm not going for a run, but I'm doing something here, and I want a dynamic strength training workout where I don't have to build the workout. It's a quick and dirty for me. I just press play and I watch. He's got a number of videos out now, and I've done, I think, almost all of them up until this point. He's done really well. He started obviously from not a lot of subscribers at all, and more than recently just got over 100,000, which is really cool for him. So happy about that. He's very serious. I think he does joke sometimes, but he's got good form, good technique, and I really appreciate that it is a full workout of a kettlebell workout that I don't have to create on my own. I did for many years, but this is nice because it's already made. So this is what I classify as a quick and dirty. Usually his kettlebell workouts are about half an hour, 40 minutes max. And yeah, they're pretty intense. I wouldn't say this would be a great option if you were just getting into kettlebells for the first time, because you don't have an instructor around to help you with form. If you are relatively seasoned, this could be a great option for you for a kettlebell workout at home. That's it. That's Mike from Precision Kettlebells. My last favorite top 5 non-knitting channels is a carpentry video or a channel, Scott Brown Carpentry. Scott Brown here. He's a Kiwi that lives in Nelson with his girlfriend Jess. And I enjoy watching this channel with the love of my life. It's something that we enjoy watching together. There's not a lot of like crossover as far as YouTube channels that we enjoy watching together, but I think this is the top for me and for him together. This is a carpenter that has had, you know, tons of years of experience in carpentry for projects that he's done. He's definitely gained over the years before I even discovered him. Tons of videos and projects, and now this series that he's featuring is about mostly his house that he's renovating with his girlfriend. They recently went to Japan and had a whole adventure there with, of course, a heavy focus on carpentry and woodworking, which is cool, and tools. He's brought some of those back and he's using those tools and items renovating his house. It's really inspiring. I find watching woodworking really satisfying to enjoy. I lived in New Zealand for a year. That's where I did my BEd, and so I have a big heart for the Kiwis and for New Zealand in general. And I feel like there's so much goodness that comes from this channel, from Scott. He's warm and you know, the way he shares really resonates with me. I love his accent because, again, I'm just reminded of my time in New Zealand, and yeah, there's a lot of good with it. It's a little different for perhaps a knitter to really enjoy, but I do very much, and maybe you will too. So that's Scott Brown Carpentry. There we go. Those are my top 5 very favorite videos outside of knitting. I hope you check them out. They're all linked below, of course. If you like this video, I invite you to subscribe and like today's video. Subscribe to the channel. If you're feeling yourself even more, click down below into the Ko-Fi account and consider a donation. Thank you so much for that. I wish you great joy in your knitting today and dabbling outside of just knitting related world into another new channel. So let me know if you are into other outside of knitting channels as well, and we can continue to grow our library of what we really enjoy as we knit and watch. Until next time, take care.